Hey everyone, before we get started with today's video, if you forgot to use a referral code when you signed up for Uber to get your bonus or guarantee of up to $1,000, then here's how to apply my referral code so you can still get some extra money. Here's the steps. So 1, open the Uber app. Next, click your photo or the 3 lines at the top corner. Click earnings. Click help or question mark. Click account and payment. Then referrals. And this step is really important. Click invited driver, report my missing or incorrect driver referral. And then click send a message. And for the invite code, use G4QA5UE. Friend's name, yours truly, Gregory Wave. GREGORYWAVE, like wave. The phone number is 815-847-0184. And the email is gregwave@yahoo.com. And for the details, you can just say something like, my good friend Gregory referred me to drive for Uber. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name is Greg. Hey, before we get started, guys, I'm telling you, you have to get on Play Octopus. This is like officially launching in all these markets. So for those of you who have already signed up, just so you know, I believe it's in 20 new markets already. And if you're in a bigger market, I would pretty much just count on it being there. But from the people I've talked to that have already gotten this, I don't know if you guys saw Dylan posted a video of a driver that had it. And everybody that has it is saying really good things. I think it's just so unmatched, especially if you're more on the introverted side. But also, you're going to pick up a ton of passengers that are introverted. And what I love, here's the power of something like Play Octopus, is that if you're feeling awkward and you don't know what to say, I know some of you guys mount the tablets. I'm not going to say you shouldn't mount it because I guess then you're at risk of somebody running off with it. But I always thought that the real power in this would be like, you don't show it right away. And then you talk to someone and be like, hey, just so you know, I've got this tablet. You can check out some games on here. And that way you just look like a really good driver, but you're not being annoying and yapping your brains off to people. I've been taking a lot of Uber rides lately, and I'm telling you guys, some of these drivers out here just don't know how to stop talking, and it's annoying. I've been talking to all of them, and I'll be courteous and nice, but hits a point where, I'm, especially like I took a 40-minute ride the other day and I needed to get some work done and this guy just wouldn't shut up. And I'm on my laptop, I'm trying to type and do some stuff and he's just going on and on and on. You got to know when to stop. All right. So that's a great thing to do, is to get Play Octopus. And that way you don't have to be at fear of not getting a good rating or a good tip. Throw that tablet back there, give them some entertainment. What more could they want? So that's that. Moving right along, what I'm doing for you guys today is I'm going to tell you guys how I consistently made at least $500 a weekend. I had a time in my life where I worked 2 days a week. I kid you not. I worked Friday and Saturday. That was it. And I every single weekend made $500 a weekend like clockwork. And a lot of times it was, intense. It is tougher because I was putting a lot of hours in 2 days. But the way I looked at it is, if I can make this in 2 days and then get the rest of the week to do my stuff and what I want to do, that's worth it. So what I was doing is I was doing 2 12s, or if it was a really good night, sometimes it would be more like a 14-hour shift, a 13-hour shift. So at the very most, I would work like 30 hours in a weekend. Between the 2 days. And I'm not going to lie, it was draining. Those 2 days were draining. I would be slamming monsters and energy drinks and all sorts of stuff just to get through it. But it was worth it. It really was worth it for me, because then Sunday I would basically recover. I would have this like work hangover from all the crappy food and energy drinks and like non-sleep I got. And then, but then Monday through Thursday, I'm just chilling out, doing what I need to do. So here's the main thing. So your hours are pretty standard. You're going to you're more than likely going to have to put in 12 hours each day, but you might be able to get away with doing 10. But for me, I always felt like once you got towards the later parts in the night on a weekend, I felt like the time sped up so much. So what I liked to do is I would aim to do 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. And what's awesome is 3 p.m. stuff's already starting to pick up. On Friday, it's really good because you're getting a ton of work rides. And so from 3 to 7 or 8, you stay really busy. On Saturday, you don't always, but it's still more consistent than any other day of the week. So I would generally, like I said, run 3 to 3. Now, if it was like some berserk weekend and things were going really good, 3 to 4, 3 to 5, whatever I was feeling that night. But along with that, I had a few tricks for how I would strategize it, when I would take my breaks, and how I would make it work. Because the thing is when you run those really long shifts, that's where I really start feeling like my back, my neck, my knees. That was starting to sound like a very dirty hip hop song of old. If any of you guys caught that. My neck, my back. You fill in the lines, because YouTube won't let me post it if I do. But the biggest thing is if you're one of those people where you take like a 30-minute dinner break, which I used to like doing that, like especially if it was a really long shift, right around 6-7 hours in, I would like to stop and just go, to a restaurant, eat, and just kind of chill for like 20 minutes, play on my phone maybe even a little bit, just to like not think about Ubering, right? So what I liked to do is I felt like some of the best times to do that were around like 9 or 10 p.m. if there wasn't an event going on. Now, a lot of times if there was a concert or something, sometimes 10 p.m. is when you get let out. So you got to be careful. You got to know what's going on in your market. But for the most part, if you have nothing going on, it's just a normal weekend and people are just going out to drink, going out to eat, and doing the normal stuff they do on a weekend, but no real special events, you're gonna do pretty good just doing just taking your break at like 9 or 10 p.m. And then all other breaks I tried to combine with either getting gas or you're gonna get somebody in a 12-hour shift that takes a stop. And what I'm doing during those times is I'm getting out and I'm just walking around my car. Walking around. If I'm really feeling stiff, I'm doing, not push-ups, jumping jacks or something, just to like loosen up my body. Because I'm telling you, if you don't stay loose during a shift like that, you're going to feel it. I don't know if any of you guys saw, I did a video a long time ago about how a lot of Uber drivers were getting blood clots in like their legs and knees and stuff because they would be sitting 60 hours a week, the real grinders that are out there, the real hustlers. And, and then eating fast food 3 times a day and sleeping, probably not as much as they need to. I would sometimes get home from like Ubering all day and it would be, 3, 4 a.m. But I was so hyped up on energy drinks still that I wouldn't fall asleep till like 6 a.m. That used to happen to me all the time after a Saturday shift. So getting out, getting loose, moving your body around. I usually cut off my caffeine intake after I got smart about it at like midnight. With maybe just having like a few sips of a coffee. Coffee doesn't really affect me that much anymore, unfortunately. I can literally drink a cup of coffee and like go to bed. But when I was doing that, I would do like maybe a few sips of like a cappuccino or something at like 1 a.m. just to get me that last little push, because sometimes picking up rides at 1 to 2 a.m. I'm just like a zombie that's not communicating, not getting tipped because I'm like crashing from the caffeine. I've been working since 3 p.m. So, but the reason why I liked these shifts so much is I felt like it was a shift that went really fast. I felt like that 3 to 7 p.m. you got work rush. It went real smooth. And the slowest part of the day I always thought was like this 2 to 3 hour window from like 7 to 10. I used that as an opportunity to go buy food, to get gas if I needed it. Or just a chiller time of getting rides and you just park your car somewhere and just, play games or something on your phone until you get a ride. That was what I liked. As then I got this slight little window where it wasn't as fast paced, where I kind of felt like I got a break. And then once 10 p.m. hits, I feel like then it starts kind of picking up. It does get a little bit weird, I feel like, from midnight to 1. Midnight to 1, I mean, you get some people that ended their relationship that night, so they don't want to stay out. And so you do some Dr. Phil counseling for an hour, and you know, sometimes it's just a little dead. But then 1 a.m., a lot of people start going home. Now, I'm very, very strategic about that 1 to 2 a.m. hour, because what used to happen to me all the time when I didn't plan it is somebody would leave a bar at 1:30 in the morning and they'd be going 45 minutes away, which normally you're like, hey, that's an awesome ride. What are you complaining about? But then you're missing all the bar rush at 2 a.m. And you do everything just to get that bar rush at 2 a.m. You know, I mean, that's all you live for if you Uber weekend nights, right? So then if I'm still in a good area at 1:30 a.m., a lot of times I'll just turn my phone off because I don't want to risk it. And I'm like, on average, 30 minutes, if there's no surge, I'm going to make $10, maybe even less. So, I mean, honestly, maybe even 5 to 8, you know? So it's like, am I really going to risk going that far away from the surge for $5 to $8? No, absolutely not. I'm no way in hell. Heck. Oops. Sorry, YouTube. Oh, man. I hate it when I do that. But then, and the most pivotal thing, if you guys have seen my destination trip hacks video, I'm using this trick. So 1:55, I'm making sure that I'm outside wherever I think the craziest surge is going to be. Research your market, do some tests, figure out what surges the most at 2 a.m., right? And then what I'm doing is I'm just leaving the app off. And then I'm just parking right in the middle of where the hottest point of the surge is going to be, and I'm just monitoring it. Now, you got to be really careful, because if you pick a bad window of time, you're going to lose it. A lot of times there'll be a big, not a big, but a decent surge, $5 to $8 at like 1:55, because people are trying to dip out right before 2 because they think it's going to surge more. A lot of times they end up creating a surge just by doing that. So, and then a lot of times 2 to 2:05, it drops a little bit, and sometimes it's not till 2:10 when it really hits. Again, even if you're waiting 30 minutes, it's worth it if you do this trick. So then if I have Uber Gold rewards, then what I do, I turn the app on right when I see it really hitting, or I set a destination without turning the app on, and I set the destination opposite direction. And then I wait until I get a ride that says 30, 40 minutes. Now, ideally on a perfect night, I'm on an $8 to $10 surge when that happens, and I make a great amount of money on that last ride. A lot of times my best weekends, I mean, $700, $800 if I was really crushing it, or because I would get a monster surge ride at the end of the night. So that's how you do it, guys. That's how you make $500 in a weekend. I do want to tell you guys about something real quick. For those of you guys that don't know, if you never used your Uber referral code when you signed up to drive, you can actually still use that. So I'm leaving a link and some details in the description of this video on how you can do that, and you can possibly get rewarded for the rides you gave months ago. So make sure you check that out. Could be easy money, guys. But thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon.